We already went to shop.
Yeah.
Hey, Bama, go. Hey, when you go out there, man, please go get a white shirt, bro.
The white shirt's
Man,
coming
tell them
over
it's an
here
emergency,
because
bro.
of a shakedown.
It ain't about the shakedown.
Okay,
It ain't, I don't
what's
care.
it
You can do
about?
that every day.
What's it about that?
Come on, like, man, you just woke me up out my sleep for no reason.
It's a random shakedown.
I ain't get no.
Okay.
I haven't disrespect you. I never had a jack ticket in my life.
Okay.
Come on.
What does that
It
have
ain't
to
a
do
random
with me?
shakedown, dude.
It is though.
It do
The
got
show hasn't
everything
been
to
shook
do.
down since you guys
Come on,
moved in there.
Come on, you thought that motherfucker was laughing at you earlier. You looked at me and then looked like this, like, come on, man, we all see.
What are you talking about? You need to step off. Go somewhere else. I don't give a fuck about that tape on the ground. You need to go somewhere else.
Please stop cussing at me. I'm not cussing at you. Please
Hey, go ahead and just cuff up then.
Please stop cussing at me.
OSCR 15 12S. Go ahead, cuff up. Turn around.
Now, please don't do that.
Turn around and cuff up.
Please don't do that.
Turn around and cuff up.
Cuff up for what?
Because you want to go see white shirts? They got white shirts
and
instead.
I'm just asking
Turn
you.
around.
I'm just asking you. Please don't
Turn
do that.
around
Please.
and cuff up. It's the last time I'm going to tell you. It's the last time I'm saying it. Turn around and cuff up.
By now, you've probably seen this clip circulated around social media, but what is the backstory that led to this madness? Inmate Joseph Hunter was incarcerated at the Trumbull County Correctional Institution. He was sentenced for his role in the death of his accomplice, Lamar Allen, in a robbery of express carryout in North Toledo. Joseph Hunter, 26, had been found guilty of involuntary manslaughter, attempted murder, felonious assault, and aggravated robbery, each with gun specifications. The evidence against him was a mosaic of a morning gone wrong. 2 witnesses recounted seeing Hunter fleeing the scene of the carryout, a handgun gripped in his hand. Another witness described a chilling encounter later that day, noting that Hunter showed no reaction, no grief, no shock to the news that his accomplice, Allen, was dead. It had taken police over a month of searching before they finally cornered and arrested him in January. Though Hunter hadn't pulled the trigger that ended Allen's life, the law held him accountable. Under the principle of proximate cause, authorities argued that Allen would still be alive if not for Hunter's criminal actions. Faced with this reality, Hunter offered only a brief, defiant claim of innocence. As the judge urged him to use his decades of impending incarceration to seek an education and find a better path, Hunter simply shook his head and smiled. "Smirk all you want," the judge countered, her voice cutting through his defiance. "You obviously haven't listened to guidance your entire life." His attorney, Philip Carlisle, maintained that Hunter was innocent, pleading for a sentence that might one day allow him to return to the community as a changed man. But Judge Cook had seen the video. She spoke of the moment Hunter hesitated during the crime, telling him plainly that the mask on his face and the gun in his hand earned him no respect, only the fear of those around him. Turning her attention to the grieving family of the deceased accomplice, the judge acknowledged the tragedy of choices. She referenced a letter from Allen's father, who wrote that while 2 men were responsible for that day, only one was left with the power to change. This man, who lost his own son, has challenged you to become something different than you appear on that several-minute video and in court, she told Hunter. The mercy Hunter sought was not to be found in the final tally. Judge Cook sentenced him to 10 years each for aggravated robbery and involuntary manslaughter, plus 9 years for attempted murder. With the mandatory 3-year gun specification added, the sentences were ordered to run consecutively, stacking into a 32-year wall of time between Joseph Hunter and the world outside. Little did he know, he would go viral nearly 15 years later. While incarcerated at the Trumbull County Correctional Institution, Hunter's cell was selected for a search. If you don't know anything about cell searches in jail, they aren't the most pleasant of events. It basically involves the inmates being escorted out of the cell, sometimes in handcuffs while correctional officers go in and toss everything around, making a huge mess that you then have to go clean up. Sometimes they destroy artwork and personal property in the process. It can lead to confrontation and even claims of discrimination based upon whether the guard likes you or not. That is what Joseph Hunter was complaining about at the start of the video. He wanted to see a white shirt. This is either a lieutenant or captain, in a correctional institution, and they are considered high-ranking officers and have authority over regular officers and sergeants. He alleges that his cell was targeted because the two female correctional officers were being laughed at, and they believe he was one of the inmates laughing. Joseph Hunter was simply asking to see their supervisor so he could lodge a formal complaint, what they call a grievance form, in prison. The female officer responded by telling him to cuff up and that there were white shirts he could talk to in the hole. Mr. Hunter asked them not to do that, and then all of a sudden, he attacked. I'll warn you, the following footage has been edited with a graphic warning content label, as I do not want to violate YouTube's rules against violent content.
Please don't.
Group up! Get the fuck over! Get the fuck over!
After the attack occurred, the footage was posted across social media, and a surprising reaction from the public came about. They demanded that he be found not guilty because the female officer escalated the situation by trying to send him to the hole and then ultimately by pepper spraying him. Thousands of online comments showing support for Joseph and denouncing the attitude and actions of the female guard tell the story of public opinion. And for many, Joseph was being calm and polite, while the female officer did nothing but try and agitate him. Hundreds of comments and replies stating that she got what she was asking for, and it's her fault. Hunter, who has since been moved to the Ohio State Penitentiary in Youngstown, is still serving his 32-year prison sentence from 2011 and is being held on a $1 million bond for the charges stemming from this assault. A repeat violent offender specification is an enhancement to a criminal charge, allowing for more severe penalties if the defendant has a history of certain violent felony convictions. The judge in this case could impose the maximum for these assaults under Ohio state law and add an additional 26 years on top of the 32 years he is currently serving, 15 of which he has already served. This case raises some serious questions about mental health behind bars, de-escalation training for correctional officers, and the impact of serving a long prison sentence. A little bit of respect goes a long way, and I can tell you from personal experience, this lady is exactly the type of officer other COs don't want to work with because of her attitude and ability to set inmates off. Most correctional officers are pretty decent people trying to earn a paycheck and just survive the week. But like every group, you have a few assholes in the bunch that make everyone else look bad. But now I want to know what you think. Should Joseph be held to the full legal standard for his actions, or should some blame be put on correctional officers who escalate a minor situation into a full-on assault? Were they both wrong, or should Joseph have just complied because he is the inmate and they are the people in authority? Please keep it respectful, but I seriously want to know because I have mixed feelings on this case. I'll respond to every comment. And as always, remember, justice delayed is justice denied.